And we're back again with another reaction, and we're back with one that I'm really excited for, because Ihlo have come back from their slumber, from their 6-year rest period with no music. A band that for a long time I honestly wasn't sure would ever come back with a follow-up, but they always seem to still be alive and have a bit of an online presence, playing festivals and whatnot. But they are finally back. Their debut album, Union, in 2019 was fantastic. It was an incredible album, one of the best debut albums I've ever heard. It really has grown on me over time as an album, but just there are so many undeniable factors about it. They already had quite a signature sound to them. It didn't really sound like much of anyone else. They really kind of honed in on this sci-fi-esque progressive metal. Lots of sadness in the lyrics and the vocals, but all in all, a bit of a brightness and a futuristic kind of melancholy, because there are lots of electronics and lots of synths. I think that's a huge part of their sound and a huge part of their soundscape. But even for on a production standpoint, as a debut album, fantastic production, fantastic mixing, everything sounded great, and there are really no songs that I skip or don't come back to on that album. So that is a really promising band that has been kind of not on hiatus, but working at crafting their second album for quite some time. But we are finally here with new music from the band. They've released their first single from their upcoming album called Legacy. The song is just over 7 minutes long, so bold for a first single, and it's called Empire. The last time a band put out a first single called Empire, it was one of my songs of the year last year with Wheel, and I'm beyond excited. I've been waiting all day to get home and get this video done. So let's go check out this new chapter, this long-awaited chapter from Ihlo, and take a listen to Empire. Let's see what it has to offer. Let's do this. New Ihlo. Oh, the guitar tone's already sounding amazing. I already love the mood of this. Hitting on the triplets with those power chords.
When the golden hour fades, we build up from the ground.
Do you hear how well these drums are mixed?
Fabled words that fell away.
Synth just sneaking in there in the back. Come on again. My God, this groove! Everything is so tasteful. Dude, it's a very promising start. Synths are doing a heavy load right now. Damn. Tightened up that groove fast. This mix is fantastic, bro. Guitars aren't fully forward in the mix yet. I feel like we haven't gotten the heaviest moments of this song. All right. Oh, yeah. Such a depth in the back of the mix with that. Synth should have a place in every prog band, in my opinion. These guys do it so well. Something familiar and some much needed breathing space there. It's a lot to digest here already. I imagine we're going back into a chorus. I can already tell this chorus is gonna magnify just like the melody, how catchy it is every time I hear it. Oh, yeah. I already like this second chorus a lot more than the first time I heard it. Oh my god. Oh my, yeah, we're here. God. Loving this pocket we're in right now. Hope they keep building this and evolving this section. Damn. Nice. The way the vocals created that harmony with the, you know, the way the guitar, I'll talk about it later. That was such a good transition. Apologies, a little bit of a glitch there. Didn't mess up the flow too bad though. Are we gonna do a final chorus, or is that the end? I think I'm going to take another listen to that one, and I will be back. I have plenty to say. So that was Ihlo's first single from their upcoming album, Legacy, and I'm really enjoying this direction that they're taking for their new stuff. I think they've really elevated their sound in a lot of ways. Often, you know, a lot of it's pretty subtle. I wouldn't say there's a monumental shift in their sound. It just sounds a little bit matured. It feels like they're developing more of their own voice in what they're saying, and I feel like there's maybe a bit of more of a message in the song as a whole. Musically, everything, the band all in all feels like it has a bit more chemistry, a bit more unison, which is what you'd hope when you spend this long curating an album. I'm a big fan of the song structure that they used with this. I think it was really smart and really well put together. Everything kind of clicked into place well, and the transitions made sense. It all flowed in a way that made 7 minutes feel more like 5 minutes, and I think every second of it was used pretty well. I think they're very efficient with their time on this song. The intro is fantastic. The groove is just delicious. The way they're able to string everything together. The guitar tone and the way they go in on those triplets with the bar chords. A bit lush and back in the mix, but also kind of distorted and raw in a very Ihlo way that has a wonderful feel. It makes it a lot groovier and a lot airier, while the drums are incredibly tight. Great little 16th note triplet rolls on the hi-hat and just a steady pace with some cool offbeats and accents. The synths always adding something with this band. That's the one constant that held down the song completely, are the synths, and they started a bit more subtly in the intro, which is nice. They kind of fade in a little bit at the end of the first line, and then a few measures later started coming in more and more. Then in the chorus they were all over, just blasting you in the face, but kind of warming you up back into their sound, reminding you how key the keys are in their sound. Just they're kind of cueing those back in and making everyone combine in harmony in the intro. A bass tone, beautiful as well. Nice vocals, nice layers. Just, I think that section in particular, I think it was a fantastic canvas for the song, and I think it's balanced really, really well. The chorus is great. I don't think it's anything mind-blowing, but it really carries the torch well, and it probably will grow on me a lot because the second time I heard it, I was kind of cueing more into the harmonies and the way the melody was traveling, and I liked it a lot more. And I like that they only did it twice in a 7-minute song because it's a bit of a longer chorus. I don't think it's one they needed to overdo, but it was there as that kind of... They returned to what they did in the intro with those bar chords just for the empty space as a transition, but besides that, it was one of the only sections that truly repeated in the song, and I think it was dispersed in there nicely. And yeah, again, I just think the song structure did them a lot of favors here, because like I said, with that longer chorus and the way it kind of slowly ventured their way out of it, that transition into those riffs that were a bit more subdued the first time, they were able to put the guitars way heavier in the mix, drop out some of the fuzz and the ambience and the synths and everything, and just slam you with it after the second one. You were kind of expecting, it to go and ramp up a little bit, and when it did, it was just so satisfying. It was one of the heaviest riffs they've put out, so that was fantastic. I loved that. It was slamming. I wouldn't quite call it a breakdown per se, maybe, but a banger of a riff there in the middle of the song. And then the way they're able to keep the momentum going and push it through that build up to the guitar solo was a solid way to end the song. I think the build up maybe could have thrown a few more risks out there, done something a bit more climactic to end the song, but the transition from the end of that build up into the guitar solo was excellent. The way the guitarist and the vocalist were harmonizing on those notes, going up and down, bending in, like just playing those same notes at the same time. Purity of his voice and the guitar going in there, that felt like a symbol of what's to come, and I thought that was my favorite moment. The most ear-catching moment of the song was just that transition into a very nice solo. I really enjoyed the solo to end the song, and the way they carried out that outro with those guitars just isolated on their own, washing their way down, slowly fading out. I think the intro and outro were well-paced and well-balanced, and it was a pretty busy song, but the empty spaces were there when they needed to be. I would also say the production on it was fantastic. I think it got even better than it was on the debut, specifically with the drums. I thought the drums sounded fantastic on Union, and almost too perfect in a way. They sounded borderline robotic at times because of how clean he was playing everything, but I think there's a bit more of a human touch and a depth and a warmth to them, kind of like a back register that just sounds so beautiful and meaty and true. Like the drums were just ringing through me as a drummer, and I thought it sounded absolutely fantastic. It added to a bit of a warmth in the track, and almost just like it was just very steadying and nice nice to be able to lock into the drums the whole time in a very futuristic, kind of chaotic song. Vocally, I do think he was kind of, he was throwing everything at the wall a little bit throughout the song. He was trying these softer, more pulled back in the mix sections, full throttle out there, isolated vocals, strong delivery. He was trying plenty with harmonies and layered vocal tracks and everything. And I think it felt a little bit disjointed and a little bit unfocused at times. So I'm curious if he leans more in any of those directions throughout the album, or if it is going to be a bit all over the place like that. I thought the vocal tone was solid, and I thought he sounded great. For the most part, confident in what he was saying, so he carried the message well. And yeah, man, I'm just excited for where this album is going to go. I think that was about what I was expecting, and I'm very satisfied, 100%. Let me know what you guys thought of this one. Do you think this is Ihlo's best song so far? Are you expecting anything from this album? Do you have a favorite song from their previous album? And have you heard of these guys before? Because if not, go check out Union right now. It's an amazing album. And stay tuned for this album Legacy coming out. Fantastic artwork, looks awesome, longer songs, looks like a cohesive, deep piece of work that we're going to be getting at the end of August here. So I'm expecting more singles, and I'm expecting more bangers from Ihlo in the future. Empire is going to be on rotation, and I'm excited to see this next chapter unfolding for Ihlo. I will see you guys next time.